Hello everyone and welcome to Should You Bother for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Beta Edition. I'm going to have some gameplay running in the background while I talk here. I had a lot of time in the beta. I played all the modes, used all the maps, did all the guns. I think leveled all the guns up as far as I could. So I spent a lot of time in it, and I think I have a pretty well-formed opinion on the game. In Should You Bother tradition, we're going to start with the score right away. I'm going to give Modern Warfare 2's beta a B. I really enjoyed the beta. I like the game, and I think it's a good game as of now. But I think it's a few changes away from being a great Call of Duty. I'm gonna go through pros and cons here in a second, but generally speaking, the beta was solid. I didn't have a whole lot of big complaints. There are things that are issues, and I think they're gonna fix. And I'm not gonna cover things like technical glitches or like UI and stuff like that because I feel like that's what a beta's for, and the developers are probably gonna fix that. So I'm not even gonna bother to discuss that here. But we're gonna jump right into the pros here. The first big pro was gunplay. The game felt good. It felt snappy. I felt like shots were really registering, and the hitboxes were good this year. There's sometimes in Vanguard where you just shoot and you're not even hitting a person, it still hits them because the hitboxes are weird, and I feel like they cleaned that up pretty well for this game. So I feel like shot registration and general server performance was really good in this beta compared to previous years of Call of Duty. I remember MW, I guess, remastered the 2019 game. The beta servers were a mess. I had issues logging in, and this did not happen. I had no problems. There's a couple games like in Ground War, I had some lag, but I don't know if they're pulling from more areas in the world. But I had a little bit of lag there, but it wasn't terrible. So that was really positive. The next positive is maps. These maps are so much better than Modern Warfare 2019. I hated a lot of the maps. Like Piccadilly was terrible. Gunrunner was okay, but there was a lot of them that were just, I don't know what they were thinking. This was kind of more traditional 3-lane style, but some of the verticality of Modern Warfare 2019. It was a good blend of both, and I really enjoyed the maps, especially Farm 18. You're going to see a lot of Farm 18 gameplay because that was my favorite map to play, and I felt like that map flowed perfectly. It had a little bit for everyone. There was sight lines on the left side by the bus. There was this close middle area where you get someone with a shotgun every game, and it played well in every mode. I really, really loved that map. Another thing that was really good about this game was the audio and the visuals. We'll get in the footsteps. I don't hate the volume of them, but I hate how far you can hear them. But other than that, the visuals were great and the audio was fantastic. The guns sound great. They look great. There's a lot of detail in like how many bullets in your gun when you inspected. They did a lot of attention to detail. It felt polished. So that was very good. The new modes were all pretty good. I really like Hostage Rescue and Knockout a lot. Third person, I mean, it's fun. I don't think it's going to be a big thing, mainly just because the transition from third person to first person was just too weird. I just don't think a lot of people are gonna gel with that. I think that mode will be like a, oh, you're bored and you want to do something fun kind of mode. But it was still positive. When we come to gameplay, the movement was very good. I'm personally never been a slide canceling person. I know people are upset about that, but I think it's weird and it doesn't look fun to watch. Like for the CDL, I think it kills it just watching everyone slide around everywhere. So I'm happy it's gone. I know some people are gonna miss it. I was never a slide canceling guy, so I was perfectly fine with slide canceling being gone. It's been very much replaced by bunny hopping. Everyone's jumping around corners. It looks a little better. I think it'll be better for competitive, but I kind of just don't do either. I can slide cancel. I did it a lot in Cold War in 2019. It just not. I don't love doing it. I think it's kind of cheesy, but it's gone. So I'm happy about that. I know some people aren't going to be, so that might be a con in your list, but it's a pro for me. And then the last thing that I was really impressed with was one, the new equipment. The drill charger is the best equipment in the game, in my opinion. I love it. Like you can put it through walls, through ceilings. You can do anything with it. If someone's sitting in a corner and you know it, you stick a drill charge on the other side of the wall and they're done. It really helped with the camping issue a lot. Like Battle Rage is a great new what is it, field upgrade. So there's a lot of new field upgrades. Portable radar was good. The inflatable decoy, I use it a lot in the gameplay. So many people I've killed because I threw a decoy out and they lit up the decoy and I shot them. It was hilarious and I love it. It's not great, but it's super fun. And then the last thing is they changed how weapons are unlocked. This is my last pro here. So it encourages a lot of variety, I feel like. I saw people using guns that they never would have. Even though all the guns in this game were pretty usable. I didn't have any guns that are like, oh, this is awful. But the best gun was the MP5 for sure. But you had to use the Lockman 762, then the Lockman 556, then you finally got the MP5. So it encouraged people to try the single shots, try the ARs. You had to kind of work to get it, which I really really enjoyed. Yeah, the unlock system in the gunsmith is so much better than Vanguard's. I'm really happy we don't get 10 attachments, because 10 attachments you could just Frankenstein a gun into whatever you wanted. It was not ideal. This is back down to 5 things. You have 5 attachments, and all the attachments were good. Like they all felt like they did something. There wasn't a whole lot of useless attachments, but we did lose in-depth stats, which I hope is just a beta thing. I'll go into this more with my cons, but not having the exact stats of what attachments do is a big loss. But to end it on the positive note, because this is the pros. Gun variety felt good. The ARs all felt different, which is something that Vanguard specifically struggled with because you could change ammo types so easily. The last AR you got, which looks like a Scar, I'm not sure what it is. It's a TAQ, I think they called it. That was a slow kind of beefy assault rifle, killed really fast. The Lockman was a little faster firing, but it was really accurate. M4 was kind of the all-around gun, but there was good variety. All the weapons felt pretty good. So there's a lot of positives to take this beta. I think this is a pretty solid start. It's the best beta I played with COD since before 2019. I didn't love Vanguard beta. I don't like the maps on that game. Um, Cold War was okay, but it felt weird taking that step back from the new engine. But just a very positive start. It wasn't perfect, very positive. We're gonna move to those few issues now. The biggest issue by far, without a doubt in my mind, is squad spawns. I know that's not what they are, but that's what everyone kind of calls it, as squad spawns. Rather than having your area of the map or your area in the objectives, you kind of spawn on one side, and if you go too far, you'll flip it. That's not a thing in this game. They kind of just spawn you next to your teammates. So it happened a lot in a couple of gameplays. I think in the first clip of this video, at the end, I died because 4 guys spawned right in front of me next to one of their friends. They all spawned around him because they kind of spawn you next to your teammates no matter where you are. It happened multiple times where I was flanking near the enemy's back flag and dom, and my entire team spawned on it, and it flipped everybody, and it was just a mess. I really hope they fix this. They change the spawns back to a more traditional system. I'm not expecting them to do that, but it kind of made a lot of maps feel messy, even though the maps were good. The second biggest issue for sure, and one I noticed a lot, is the enemy visibility. They got rid of the nameplates, it seems like, or they were a glitch and didn't work. But it was really hard to see people sometimes on backgrounds. It's better than it was in Modern Warfare 2019, but you don't have a name tag now, so it can get a little dicey. It definitely needs to be worked on. I don't know what they do, if they add a dot above their head, a red dot when you aim at them or something, but there needs to do something because I've shot at teammates before because I just didn't know who was who. Um, Weapon balance was pretty good, but there was definitely 2 or 3 weapons that stood above the rest. That last assault rifle I mentioned, you got the blueprint for it for finishing the beta at level 30. The MP5 and the FTAC Recon were all extraordinarily fast to kill. Like, they outclassed the other guns pretty handedly. We didn't get attachments for the AK-74U, where I think that would be in the category too. Those are pretty strong. The perk system, I don't hate the perk system. I think it's not necessarily terrible. It's just different. They sped up the earn rates, which made it much better. But I feel like the perk balance is a mess. In the third tier, there's only 2 perks even worth using, and that's Ghost and Bird's Eye. Bird's Eye's strong, but like Ghost is the best perk in that class, and it's not even close. The second class, I felt like it was Quick Fix or Fast Hands, and the rest were kind of eh. I feel like they need to change what perks went where, but I think the system, it can be good. I think it can be saved. Footsteps, I don't care necessarily how loud they are. They can have loud footsteps, but we shouldn't be hearing people 3 rooms away through 3 walls. If they can get around the wall issue, like make it much quieter on the other side of walls, I'll be happier with it. But I could hear people 2 rooms away, and that just kind of felt ridiculous. That's something that really needs to be changed. And then the last thing really was just that in-depth stats. Like when you're making a gun, telling me minus recoil control and giving me a little bar just doesn't really tell you a whole lot. I really like Cold War and I really like Vanguard having a menu telling you exactly what it did, what the percentage was, exact details. I really hope they decide to bring that back because that feels like a big loss for no reason. Again, the beta was good. It's just there's like 3 or 4 things. If they make changes, this could be a really great game, especially with DMZ and Warzone. DMZ is what I'm really excited about. I just some of the changes are just weird to me. Like I'm not gonna die on the hill because I don't think it's ever coming back. But shooting should put you on the radar. I don't know why it doesn't, but that's a design choice. They pretty much said that's not happening. It's just there's those little cons I listed, like the spawns, the visibility, weapon balance, the perk balance, and footsteps. If they kind of adjust those things and get them in a better line, we could be in for a great 2 years of Call of Duty. They have such a good base of a game here with so much potential. I just really hope they utilize it and they make this a game that it could and should be. But that's my review. I gave it a B. I think this game could be fantastic, but it's good right now. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Let me know if you have got to level 30 in the beta. I hope you have a good day. My decoy made him get stuck. Look at it. Watch what happens. My inflatable boy got him. That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.